Welcome to Lydia's Plate. I'm a stay-at-home mom who is homesteading together with my husband and 4 kids. We do gardening, house cleaning, all the homesteading stuff, baking bread, experimenting with gluten-free foods for one of our kids, animals, and the like. So if you like that kind of stuff, stay tuned and welcome to our channel.
Hey guys, welcome back to Lydia's Plate. We thought we'd give you a garden update. It is basically all harvested. We have lots of extra tomatoes now. We're done with tomatoes, but everything else has been taken out except for the carrots. I like them to have a frost or a couple of small frosts so that they're sweeter. And the sunflowers. We haven't harvested the sunflower heads yet. I think we tried one, but we're gonna let those go a little bit longer too. All right, let's go show you how much we harvested. All right, so here you can see all the pumpkins. We've got white pumpkins and orange pumpkins, and then we've got some onions left, whatever we haven't used for all the tomato products and whatever else that we made. And then we've got some beets here. Myself and the kids, we are planning to enter this one into a local fair coming up, and same with, for sure, one of these zucchini, just for curiosity, for fun. It's a good experience for the kids, see how it goes and just to have the experience. And then we have all our potatoes here. So we've got sacks and sacks of potatoes, and then any that got stabbed or nicked during harvest, they have come inside. We have russets, Viking, and Norlands. That's a very small one, but they have gotten quite large again. Let's see, here's a bigger one. And that to us, that's like a medium large potato. We often have potatoes that are much bigger than that yet. I just see mostly russets here on top. There's another bit of a bigger one, but we often have potatoes quite a bit larger than that. So yeah, we've got a really good harvest here. We normally don't prefer to harvest this early, but we have gotten so much rain lately here in our area that we were afraid if the potatoes stayed in the ground, they would start molding. So we really don't want that, because then we have no harvest. So we're very happy with this. This should last us all winter and then some. We'll have seed potatoes for next year. And one thing I forgot to mention while we were outside is that we also have one carrot plant that has actually gone to seed. So I am really hoping to be able to harvest that seed and have my own carrot seed for next year. With the onions, we did not save any onions to try that with, so I will buy seed again and hopefully buy a variety that I could let one go to seed and collect seed. I would still love to keep working on that, but I'm really excited to try the carrots and see how that goes, if that works for me. There are the chickens. They have been loving coming to the garden for fresh eats and finding all the worms that are in the dirt and then in the grass. Because we've had so much rain lately, those chickens over there that you saw at first, they are finding mushrooms as well. So they are just having a heyday and they're loving it. All right, so here are all the cucumbers. You can see that they're quite huge because we just haven't been able to keep up with eating them all. If you've been watching our videos, you've been seeing all the canning and everything that we've been doing, and we have more than enough pickle products now. I haven't posted a relish video. I did film it, but I hadn't posted it because we got into the tomatoes and everything else. So if you'd like to see that one, let me know and I'll make sure it goes up for you. But we have been very blessed. Lots of cucumbers. We have some sliced in the fridge right now, and we will keep harvesting a couple here and there just for fresh eating as time goes on, as long as we don't get an actual freeze. We've had a couple light frosts here. This is October 1st on the Canadian prairies, and places around us have been getting snow, but we have not had snow yet. We've just had lots and lots of rain. We'll continue to harvest what we need just for fresh eating, but other than that, we are done. We have done the apples. All I did was peel those, chop them, throw them into bags into the freezer for like breakfast, apple pie, that type of thing. Pumpkins are all harvested. You saw those. Plums we've been eating. And then the sunflowers are left. And if you want to come see this carrot that has gone to seed, I'm very interested to see what this will give. and see if we can maybe harvest some of our own carrot seeds. The dill has all reseeded itself here. It's dropped all its seed here, so we'll get a lot of voluntary dill next year, which is perfectly fine. I'm good with that. And we do need to do some weeding here. That strawberry row that you saw me make earlier in the year, we need to rescue it from these weeds here. So that will have to happen. But other than that, I'll take you inside now and show you a couple of things that have come inside for storage. All right, so here we are back inside. Don't mind the mess. It has been a big baking and production day here again already this morning. So here we have some hot pepper sauce that Mark has been working on this morning. We've got tomatoes that we will be able to enjoy for a little bit longer yet as they ripen, lengthen that season a little bit. And then here we have some of the sweet potatoes that got harvested. So this is quite dirty. I don't really want to pull it out of here too far. But that's our biggest sweet potato. That is massive. And we only ended up getting one plant to harvest because of our weird spring with all the freezing and warm. So a lot of them are smaller. Here's another one. And here's a smaller one. But this sucker, man, you know, if all the other plants had survived, we would have a lot of sweet potatoes. And we also ate a couple fresh the other day, so that was good. So here in the sink, we have all the rest of the hot peppers that are left over, and you can see my cutting board and everything here. I am going to be working on making jalapeno poppers. I don't have bacon to wrap them in right now, but I will be getting them washed and cut to the size I want and getting them stuffed so that once I buy bacon, all I have to do is wrap them in bacon and bake them. I will get these stuffed and throw them in the freezer, and then those will all be cleaned up. The bell peppers I have just put into bags like this and then filled them about this full. That way, once I was done filling them, I could lay them flat and pack them down a bit, because I find that if they're left like this all in a big chunk down in here where it's all packed full, whatever liquid is in the peppers, it just causes them to all freeze together into one hard chunk, and then it's harder to use them when you want to just pull out a couple to put on your pizza or something. So like this, I can pretty easily break this apart, and then I can just take out however few pieces of pepper or however much that I want to. And they're just like little bite size, like what you would see on a pizza. Or I also throw these into ground beef when I'm browning it, especially if I don't have onion left to go in there. So that's what I like to do with that. And then we have all of our potatoes. All of our potatoes, as I was saying outside, all the ones that got damaged as the digging was happening. So they're all here, and we'll use those up first. All right, so for those of you who watched the pantry clean with me, the basement, the canning pantry, you'll remember seeing some of this, but some of this was not canned yet when I did that. So here we have all the pickled peppers, and we have cracked open a jar of those now this last weekend, and they are spicy. So that has been very yummy on a couple hot dogs already. And then we've got all the tomato soup for replacing the store-bought cans. Here we have tomato soup in sizes that we would eat for a family. So the way that I do that is the same as a can of soup, or at least the way I grew up, it's the same as how we would make a can of soup. We would do it 1 can of tomato soup to 1 can of milk or water, whatever is your preference. I grew up with milk, a nice creamy soup, so that's what I like. So here I do the exact same thing. If it's a full jar of tomato soup like this, it gets a full jar of milk. And then actually, because this stuff is quite potent, I will put a little bit of water in there, put the lid back on, rinse it out, and throw that in the soup too. Here we have all of our salsa. You saw me put some of these labels on when I was cleaning already. Cassandra had to move this one over. So the salsa, tomato soup, and then we've got those pickled beans that I showed you were from 2016 already, long time ago. Here we have all of the pizza sauce, and we've got tomato paste, and then some of the other stuff that was left over from other years. And then down here, all those jars of pickles that you watched us can. And then here we have relish from last year and relish from this year that we're working through. And then that hot pepper sauce will come down here yet too, once we're sure that the jars have fully cooled. We heard them all pop and seal, so that's been awesome already today. So probably by this evening, or we might even give them till tomorrow morning, and then we'll bring them down here. I don't like to move them too soon after they've sealed, because that can make them unseal. So I'd rather be safe than sorry and give them a little extra time. So there we go, that's it. I never did end up making any ketchup because I have just been so busy, and I want to, but we have been very, very busy, and I kind of feel canned out, if that makes any sense. And sometimes when it comes to trying something new, it just takes me a little bit longer. So I do want to try, and maybe over the winter I'll take a jar of tomato paste and I'll practice with a little bit of that, because I found a recipe that just uses 6 ounces of tomato paste and it ends up making, I think, 1.5 cups of ketchup, or 12 ounces of ketchup. I think it doubled. So I may try that over the winter, and then I can just try a small batch and see how hard or easy it is, and then I'll know for next year if I really want to go hardcore with it. Then if I would go hardcore, I would fill up these jars with ketchup. But for now, because I don't know how it would go, if we would like it or not, I'm just kind of canned out this year. And this has been a lot, and now it's time to start moving into other things. Once canning season is done, that's when we start wrapping up all of that. That's all cleaned up, and the slaughtering is all done, especially this year with not having pigs. So we are moving into homeschooling. So I'm done. I hope that it has helped you. Maybe you've learned something, maybe you've been inspired, and now you want to start having a garden. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified every time we post a new video, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye guys.